Hi everybody, so I wanted to make this video for quite some time now. Uh, Last year I created a video for FIFA 16 on beating world class, but I was using text instead, so I decided to use my voice this time. I think it's gonna be easier for you. I have to apologize because English is not my native tongue. In this case, I will be using my FAT team, which is not the best, but I do have some good players. Starridge is probably my favorite. I'm gonna be showing how to play against the computer, which is kinda different than playing actual humans. You have to keep the ball, you have to keep possession, you have to be flexible, you have to pass all the time and try to find space. And as you already see, I'm passing all the time. I try not. I try to be patient and wait for my opportunity. Now I made a mistake and I lost the ball, but I quickly intercepted it. I find that probably the most important thing about beating world class is your defense. You have to stay solid in the back, and you're gonna be seeing some examples here of both how to attack and defend. So here's a nice attacking opportunity, but was intercepted. The idea is that you do want to make the computer make mistakes on its own, if possible. You don't want to commit, you don't want to push up the field, and you want to, when you are attacking, you want to wait for your players to arrive. You want to have a lot of people, a lot of men. You don't just want to get the ball and start running towards the goal. So as you see here, this is a good pass, and that was the first goal. A pretty nice one. Again, this was created out of passing, and yeah, the AI presses a lot, but there are always there's always space left behind that you can extort, and yeah, that was the first goal. In this case, playing against the AI in this specific game, it was kind of a breeze. Sometimes it's not as easy. It really seems to be variable. Like there are times where I can like only beat them 2-0 or 2-1 or something. At times I may even get a draw. I do rarely lose, but it happens sometimes too. Drawing, though, it's a possibility, especially when conceding some very weird goals. But now again, I'm getting the possession, and as you see, I'm waiting for my players to arrive. I don't want to force anything. Now, this pass was kind of a mistake because it was a through ball, an attempted through ball, but my player was in the back. And when your player is in the back of the defense, like behind the defense, I would say, it's generally speaking not a good idea to pass unless you have a very fast player, very quick player, and you have space behind to run before the defender gets you. So here you want to make sure that you commit only when the opportunity is fair. You notice that I'm not committing at all here. I'm pretty much closing down the space. I wanted my defenders to get back in position. And here again, I'm creating a new attack. As you see, I like switching sides a lot, especially when there are a lot of opponent players, a lot of the players of the opponent nearby. And here's a good opportunity to attack. And you notice that the opponent has all its players in the box. So this is why I try to shoot, but I was intercepted quickly. The CPU is pretty good at that. When you have the ball in possession, you always want to look ahead. You don't really want to focus on the player that has the ball. You kind of want to roam around with your eyes and look around, I'd say, see what's happening, and pick the best opportunity, pick the decision that's most appropriate for the scenario that you're facing in offense. So as you see, we're dominating at the moment. We have only scored one goal, but we're pretty much having the ball at our feet all the time. And I quickly stole it again. There's some space there. You see the attacker coming in. Now this is a good opportunity, and I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, that was a huge miss. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I even turned towards the goal. I even had the time to turn, but yeah, I missed that there. Ah, no big deal. We'll have more chances. So now the CPU is attacking again. You have to be careful. And this was an easy interception, not very well played by the AI. Now they closed me. They closed down on my player quickly, but I got the throw. So getting the ball back in on the field, the pace I'd say. So look at how I'm trying to find the players who have a lot of space in front of them. Like I always see what's happening ahead of my player, ahead of the player that has the ball, and whenever I see some open space, this is when I pass, and I try to calculate how to pass so that when the receiver gets the ball, they won't lose it or they won't have a good opportunity of losing it because a defender was nearby. So I like to give them space. Like I like to think that the receiver has a lot of space to handle the ball, and that was a huge mistake here. Bad mistake, I'd say. Not huge because I got it back. So now I'm seeing a lot of players nearby, and I'm switching sides. I do that quite a lot. I like that. And look on the downside of the field, on the pitch. So again, I'm trying to find space and look up. Yeah, as you see, vision is super important in FIFA. That was a good attempt, but the defender was in a better position. Cleared that out. Cleared that. Intercepted it very nicely. And the AI again is trying to attack, finding the open players. That is a good attacking opportunity. Notice that I'm keeping my defender close to the attacker that tried to play the ball with his teammate. So they pretty much did nothing in this case. It was a good opportunity, but they didn't really achieve much. So we are nearing the end of the first half. We're totally dominating the game. Now that's a through ball, a threaded through ball in this case. And yeah, 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 you got to hit the post at least once per game. It happens all the time. So yeah, comfortably winning. And we're moving to the second half. Let's see what happens now. So the second half has just begun. Um, you have to remember, you have to recognize, not remember, sorry, that FIFA 16 was much different in terms of difficulty. It seems like, at least to me, that FIFA 17 is, at least for at the world class level, is actually a bit easier. It's actually probably pretty much easier actually than FIFA 16. And I think this comes down to passing mainly. FIFA 16 passing was was terrible. I mean, no pass would connect. And the thing is, if you actually miss a pass in FIFA 16, and every FIFA pretty much, you actually give possession to your opponent, and the AI is notorious for not losing the ball so easily. And so it was much harder. And as I'm talking, I've actually scored a third goal with a header, with a nice crossing. Um, so yeah, it looks like FIFA 17 is actually better in terms of general gameplay. I like it more personally, but I do like the AI more as well. Ultimate and legendary, especially Ultimate, seem to be um, pretty tough, I'd say. They're definitely more challenging. And as I'm talking, this is a very nice pass here, going for the fourth, and yeah, that's going to be the fourth. It's kind of humiliating for the AI in this case. And you notice I'm referring to the AI as CPU at times, which I know is rather wrong, but No, it's something that I'm used to, so forgive me for that. And yeah, at this point, after scoring 4 goals and also hitting the post one time, you see that we are like absolutely dominating the game. Something that was much tougher to do in the previous FIFA, but nowadays it's much easier to achieve. And you will notice that after scoring my fourth, I'm starting to to be a little bit slower in my gameplay. The game is pretty much over. I'm I'm trying to have a through ball here, but the shot is terrible. Doesn't really matter at this point. So the thing that I want to let people know out of this video, I wouldn't say teach, because I'm generally not a very good player in FIFA. I think I play in an intermediate. I'm like an intermediate level player. Not so good, not too bad, but okay. I can be a decent challenge, I think, for somebody. I do prefer to play against the AI because I find it easier, and I have what it's commonly known as ladder anxiety. So I find it much more relaxing to play against the AI. Although at times, the AI also does its stuff, the scripting stuff, as people are used to saying. Not sure if it exists, but it probably does. At least at some point, it happens. So look at what I missed here. Yeah, that was a terrible miss. It was actually saved, blocked, I guess. Again, I do like the game overall, and as I mentioned, it's probably easier than the previous FIFA, but much more fluid. It's easier to play, and I find it more pleasant actually to play it too. Um, so as you notice, I'm keeping the ball here, continuing to organize my play. Uh, yeah, my approach is slow. You see that I'm still approaching the game slowly, and now my players are also more tired than what they used to be the first half. But still, and that was a kind of a strong pass, too much power. Um, yeah, I still play like this. You see, I'm trying to find the open spots patiently, switching. I'm trying to dribble here, terrible dribble, but it doesn't really matter. And now, whenever I'm defending, I'm trying to keep my players back. So the trick in defending is not to commit really. So when you are getting counterattacked, you really don't want to tackle. You don't want to commit, generally speaking. You want to stall the opponent so that you have more time to prepare your defense, so that more players. And that was a good ball, but a bit strong as well. Um, so you want to give your players time to come back to your defense. You want to have layers in your defense. You want to have your midfielders pressing. You want to have your defenders pressing, and sometimes even your attackers. We're talking about the upper half. But if you're getting counterattacked, don't try to get the ball. Instead, try to make your opponent lose time. That's very important. You really don't want to try to get the ball, because if you fail in getting the ball, then you are open to to a quick counter attack. Probably one pass and a shot or a goal or something like that. You are open to all these things. You just want to stall your opponent. You just want to have more and more players around him. Make it tougher for him. It's important in FIFA to have your opponent make the mistake, not as much as actually you stealing the ball. It's mostly about your opponent making the mistake, and consequently you getting the ball out of it. It's something that you have to bear in mind. It's something that you have to get used to. It's how football is played really, um, in the at least on the upper levels. So yeah, that's something that I really recommend. And mastering the passes as well is kind of important. Knowing when to press X, if we're talking about the PlayStation, which I'm playing at. And I'm going to use strong passes. All these things matter a lot, and we're gonna be talking about them in the next videos to come. So thank you for watching. It's the first time that I'm actually using my voice, and as you see, we're absolutely dominating the game. First time I'm using my voice in these videos. Let me know if you like it. Let me know what you would like to see next. Like and subscribe if you like the video. See ya.